You can have all the things in the world, but if internally, if you still got work done inside of you, none of that matters. You're not going to know how to maintain a home or a marriage if inside of you still got trauma and pain that you've been carrying, and you still carry that. You're not going to be able to sustain what you want God to give you. So I think a lot of times people need to know that thriving happens internally and not external.
Welcome to Unmute with Priya, the podcast where silence ends, voices rise, and women rediscover the freedom to speak and live authentically, especially in life after 40. This show is proudly sponsored by Project Icon. I'm your host, Priya Sudarsanam. Let's dive into today's conversation. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about taking your mindset from toxicity to thriving. I want to introduce my guest today, Octavia Floyd. Octavia, welcome to the show. I am thrilled to have you with me today.
Thank you for inviting me. It's appreciated.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We got a few minutes to just talk, and you have an amazing book out there that I want people to know about, that I want people to grab. So I would love you to tell us the name of the book.
It is called Toxicity to Thriving, and it's a workbook. It's actually a workbook that you can write in, and it's your safe space, your journal, where I'm giving you deep dive questions. I asked you, and I give you affirmations, all biblical and faith driven.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, what motivated you to write this workbook?
I feel like it was a calling that God literally He took away my plan. So basically, this last year and a half, I was a fraud investigator for over 8 years. But in this last year and a half, God took away all three positions that I was at. And I felt like at the time, like, why does this keep happening? So I had to really stop and evaluate what is the reason behind it, because it keeps happening. So when the last position was taken away in June of this year, I said, okay, God is calling me to something. He keeps disrupting or taking away my plans in order for me to actually do what he's calling me to do. And so when God ended my last position in June of 2025, the book was promoted or made the next month. So I knew it was meant for me. It meant for me to do. So that's what got me where I am today. God pulling me and nudging me and saying it's time.
You bring up something that I've been learning about, that when, we might have our goals for life
Yeah.
and we say, this is where we want to go. And then God, universe, however you want your beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
takes you in this certain direction. And it can be quite disruptive when it's not what you've planned. So, what you're bringing up is that you had to have a certain level of trust and surrender in this
Mm-hmm.
process to know that this was what you had to do. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did you manage? Because if you did lose those jobs or those positions, how did you manage that trust and surrender?
It was stressful. Like I said, as human, we try to figure it out. So when I lost the first one, I went to try to find another one, and not taking process like, wait, what's happening? We try to resolve things on our own. But when it happened the third time, I said, this is not by coincidence. Okay, so I can either try again, another position, or I can surrender what I know that God is calling me to do. Because ultimately, I already knew my heart of hearts, working for someone wasn't in my deck of cards. I knew that, but as people and human, we have responsibility. So we just try to figure out life and make ends meet as best as we can. Surrendering to God wasn't an easy transition. I'm being honest, because I'm a single mom. I had to do it all by myself. So surrendering, that was a challenge for me, because I'm thinking, how am I gonna make ends meet? God made a way. I mean, I haven't had a position within that long time, and as you can see, I still have a roof over my head. I've clothes on my back, and I'm food to eat. So it's the surrendering part and trusting in Him, even when it doesn't seem like nothing's working. That takes work, and that takes really just crying out to Him. I didn't get this way, like I said, overnight. So me having a relationship with God and talking to Him made me who I am, and trusting in Him. It wasn't an easy transition. I hope I answered your question, but
You totally did.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me a little bit more, but because the title of the book, as we said, is Toxicity to Thriving. So for anyone who's listening, and what does that mean, toxicity? What does that mean, thrive? Oh, it's okay.
It's negative thinking. It's feeling like you keep making the same painful choices. You keep attracting toxic people. You keep responding in a toxic way, and you feel like this is you. This is who you are, and that's not who you are. It's you can break free from it. I don't know people's story, but my story was I was very defensive. I would compare myself to people. I would constantly talk negative about my life. Like I hate my life. My life is boring. And the more you keep speaking those words, the more that kept happening in my life. So you can break free from that. I know a lot of times thriving people assume thriving happens when you finally get to the place you want to be. But if that's marriage or a new home, that's not when you thrive, because you can have all the things in the world, but if internally, if you still got work done inside of you, none of that matters. You're not going to know how to maintain a home or a marriage if inside of you still got trauma and pain that you've been carrying, and you still carry that. You're not going to be able to sustain what you want God to give you. So I think a lot of times people need to know that thriving happens internally and not external.
And has nothing to do with any kind of material
It
possessions
does
or
not. Yeah.
anything that we're obtaining. It's all an internal state. I love that.
Mhm.
What have you found in this process, in this creation, this amazing creation that you have, this workbook? What have you found creates this toxicity? Or even in your story, what would you say?
Being single for so long created so much toxic in my life. I kept meeting the same type of men and making the same choices in life and getting to a place where I just felt this was it. I got settled. I allowed my loneliness to take over and my depression to take over and my anxiety to take over. So toxicity happened when childhood, my childhood life, I thought I had to be perfect. I would get ridiculed. I would be talked about, made fun of. So I felt like that's who I am. So I would speak negative about myself. And then again, as a single woman, I desired to be in a relationship and I kept getting the opposite. And I just felt that was it for me. So toxicity was lingering all in my mind every day without me even aware of it. But I got to a place and I said, you know what? As the older I ever got, and God, and I feel like if I would have surrendered to God at a younger age, then I would have probably less experienced what I experienced. But
So, Octavia, there's so much out there as far as wellness, and like there's so many people who are really, especially in this day and age, post COVID, really trying to help people to step into the lives that they want. Authenticity, talking about that. What sets toxicity to thriving apart in this world? Tell me a little bit about your.
Mine is more of a biblical stance. I don't know if people are for you all the time is biblical. They could have gave you research or what they feel is best for you. What I'm giving to you are straight from the source, God. I'm giving you scriptures. I'm giving you affirmations. I'm giving you real examples of life, because everything that's in this workbook is my breakthrough. It's my testimony. It's personal. So it's not like I written this for someone else or Googled it. This is my own personal struggle. So I feel like when you give your authentic self, your authenticity, no one can duplicate that. No one can rewrite that for you. It's your testimony, it's your breakthrough. So I think that sets me apart, because I think a lot of times you'll get people that studied it or went to school for it, but again, this is authenticity. This is my transparency. This is my true, without hiding anything, very transparent in this workbook. So I'm giving you things that I did myself. you
I
know
love that. I love that. I love that you said that this is your testimony and that your real life proof that this you can really shift, especially with what you shared about your experience from going from toxic to thriving. So would you say now you are thriving?
I do, because like I said, I realize thriving happens in your words, how you present yourself. I know my value now, my worth, and so I don't look for it for someone to validate me who I am. When you know who you are, you don't settle. You don't care what the circumstances look like. I'm not settling. I know my true calling, my purpose, and it also makes me feel fulfilled. I think throughout my life, I felt empty and void. And as people, we try to find things to fill that up. Like try to find a person, maybe that's sex, drugs, to fill up that emptiness. But when you realize I'm whole, God created me whole. Knowing your life, knowing why you're here, will make you feel fulfilled. And because I know why I'm here, I feel fulfilled now. So my husband, who God will bring to me, will just add to me, not complete me. and I had
Yes.
to learn that. So
I think that that's something, from Jerry Maguire when Tom Cruise says, "You complete me." I think so many people look for that,
yeah.
someone to complete them. Meanwhile, what you're bringing up is to understand that we already are whole,
Hmm.
and as to peel off these layers so
Yeah.
that we can get to who we've always been,
Mhm.
essentially. Yeah, that's incredible. And what have you noticed from going from toxic to thriving, and as far as mindset, what have you noticed shift in your life, just whether it's relationships, friendships?
Because when you thrive, you speak differently. Even when my situation still looks the same, I still speak differently. Nothing's changed eternally. And you know when nothing, when which how you feel inside stays the same, then you know you've done the work. And that you're in a different area where you know that you're thriving. Even when situations happen like me losing a job, me not having work, I still trust God. So I say, thank God. My prayers, I thank you, God, for continuing to supply all of my needs that you said that you would. The toxicity side would have been like, you know, how am I going to do this? Like I'm not going to say there's moments I don't feel that way, but when I do feel that way, I know what to turn to. I know I can't turn to myself. I don't have, I'm still, I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. So I've stopped trying to put on this facade that I can figure out on my own, that it's all on me. I trust and I depend on him now. So that's where the shift has happened. So I know that the thriving era is when you know how to go to your source. You don't try to worry. You try to worry less. You try to protect your peace. I'm an advocate of protecting my peace, whether I got to distance myself from friends, family, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I don't feel guilty anymore by saying no or not showing up. I worked on this healing and this peace, and I'm protecting it, and I'm not gonna allow nobody to pull me back where I used to do. So that's when you know I'm forgiving people who I did not want to forgive. You know you're in a season of thriving when you get to that place where you just learn how to.
that is so beautiful.
Thank
When you
you.
talk, I have goosebumps because I feel like you truly embody your words. You're not just saying it. I can feel
Yeah,
that from you. And I think so many women, you brought up something. So many women can't say no. So many women say no and then feel the guilt and the shame and the regret afterwards, worrying so much about what other people are going to say. And and then especially you bring up something about the forgiveness. I struggled with forgiveness, but yet forgiveness is what set me free
it
from
is.
these things that kept me toxic. So
Mhm.
you bring up something so amazing. Um, what would you say is your superpower? I feel like you're already showing that, but what's your superpower, um, and what you share?
Value. When you truly know your value, I think that makes you stand out. When a woman truly knows her value and knows she's not going to accept, or she's going to make standards and keep it there. She's not going to ever lower it. I think when you get to that place, you're not going to allow loneliness to overtake you. You don't care how lonely you get, because we all get lonely. We're human. But when you set that value and do not lower it, then I know that's the part I love about me now. So I'm okay with being in a home alone. I got my peace. I know I'm waiting for what God has for me. I'm not looking for something to add to me or fill me up. When you get to that, I'm glad I got to that place in my life, because before it was so hard. It was so hard for me to give up on wanting to find love. So it was hard. I kept going on dating apps. I kept trying to search for it. So now I'm like, no, God has me. I know it's coming. You know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my superpower, is my value.
And it's like your inner state is going to attract what is the highest for you. God is going to set that for you rather than you going out there and searching. Because I think I've done the same thing. It's like, okay, go searching, and you do so much, and then you end up defeated and feeling even worse rather
Yeah,
than,
definitely.
you know, just, I think you bring up something amazing about having that peace, because when you have that feeling of peace, you feel invincible.
You do. You really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So what is some feedback that you've received from people who have gotten your workbook?
For the people who did buy it, I did. One lady said that her third page of the book, she already start feeling a breakthrough. And I was like, that's powerful. I actually put in my workbook. I want people to stay connected with me and hear your testimony, because I share you my testimony on my last page where I give you my personal testimony. So people who watch my live, I go live on TikTok, and people are like, I needed to hear this. It's powerful. So I know that I'm speaking to someone. You're not going to speak to everybody. I know this is not for everyone, but for those who is for, I get so much great feedback that this is what I needed. I needed to hear this. I need your workbook. So again, it's very powerful. I mean, if you're ready to thrive, it's very powerful. So
It
I would not
sounds like
hesitate.
it, yeah. And it sounds like I think so, especially in this online world, you think that you have to hit millions and be on YouTube and get millions, but if you can just get to that one person
Yes.
and really change someone's life, then it starts creating the ripple effect. It's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's a lesson that you wish you had learned early on that you just really learned recently through this process?
I wish early on I would have known my purpose and calling at a younger age. It would eliminate so much disappointment and rejection in my life and so much regret. I feel like if I knew that back then, who I really was, I would have saved myself a lot of heartache and pain. But again, I can't say I regret it so much because it was my testimony and it's supposed to help someone else. So I think a lot of times none of our pain that we go through is in vain, because it's always to help someone else. So, but if I could be honest, I do wish I would have known early on who I was and who I truly was. But again, it all happens for a reason. So I feel like even when you make mistakes now, don't be just I'm learned to forgive myself. It took a long time for me to truly forgive myself. But when I realized how important forgiveness is, I said, God forgave me, I forgive me. Why am I holding myself in contentment? God already forgave me. So again, knowing your purpose and calling, know who you really are at a younger age, I feel like that is crucial. But if it's not, trust me, your pain is not in vain. It's
I
always.
love that. Your pain is not in vain. I love that so much. Um, I love how you're taking me on this journey because just what you're offering is so powerful and so valuable. You bring up something, and you've said it a lot since we've been
Mhm,
talking about forgiveness. Could you
mhm.
speak to forgiveness? Because I think sometimes people get so upset, and I've seen it in my circles. I even got upset. I'm like, I am not going to forgive that person. Look at the horrible things they did. Can you speak to that, especially with your background with your faith?
Oh yeah.
Because that would be helpful.
Yes, I see how unforgiveness, if you keep, I know someone personally who I know keeps unforgiveness in their heart, and they live their life in so much pain and unhappiness and bitterness and resentment. Pain, it actually, like, when I realized how important forgiveness was, when I kept hearing God say, if you want me to forgive and you want to start healing, you have to forgive those who hurted you. And I knew forgiveness was important because when I was on a TikTok live, I think he was a pastor. I don't know exactly his title, but he said to me, he said, God told me to told me to forgive this particular person because they have already been convicted by God. So God already seen your pain. He's seen your tears. He's seen what you went through. It was not in vain. Forgive them. And he said, even pretend it never happened. So when he said that, I was like, okay, I see how important forgiveness truly is, because I had so much animosity and hatred in my heart for this person at one point. And so when I released it, it made me just feel like a weight off of me. So I'm like, yes, forgiveness is more important than you people realize. So um again, I see. God, I'm sorry.
What would you say to somebody who's having a hard time forgiving?
It takes time. Don't rush. Don't pretend that you forgave it when you really don't. Like today, I said, God, help me forgive this person who I've been having so much animosity towards for years. It's okay to admit that you still have it. God will probably know you anyway. So take your time with it. Keep going at it. But eventually, you will start releasing that pain in your heart, and it will start, hey, make you feel. It will eventually catch up. So don't rush it. I would say, take your time with it. There's no timeline to it, and know that forgiveness is truly for you and not for that person. I think a lot of times we got in our heads, well, I didn't get the full apology yet, or they never took accountability yet. You may never get it. Okay. You may just keep it real. You may never receive it, but this is for you. Don't you want to live in your peace and your healing? Don't you want God to forgive you? Don't you want to, if you have a desire for marriage, you want your husband to put that anger up towards him? Like, do you want to come up whole and healed? So really ask yourself that question and know that it's for you. It's not for no one else. And take your time with it. Okay.
I
You're
love
right.
that. I love that. I think sometimes people feel like if it's, been a couple of years and they're still holding on to that they need to be somewhere quicker, and then that creates more pressure and more anxiety and more tension. But I love that you're allowing the process to happen and unfold
Yeah.
in your own timeline.
Mhm.
So with Toxicity to Thriving, what's your vision with it? Where do you see it going?
Eventually, I do want to start doing speaking engagements. I hope, pray next year that I get more opportunities. But my whole goal is to create my own seminars for women around the world, travel, and just tell them my testimony, my healing, my breakthrough, and just create a space for them. And we can all just heal together. Like I said, I want a title with that I'm with you, because a lot of times people feel like, oh, they got it together. They're on the stage. Like, no, I'm not. I'm literally you in that seat. So don't feel like because I'm on this stage that I have it all together, that it was easy for me. So I want them to feel safe, feel comfortable, know that it's if God did it for me, it can be done for you.
Yeah, I love that. I think that I could see you doing in-person events or speaking on stage, the impact that you can have for so many women. What would just for that woman who's listening today, do you have any words of advice for somebody who's in this place, who just feels so toxic, who feels stuck and just feels like, I don't know how to get out of this? Do you have any words of advice or anything that you would want to say to that person?
Yes, there's a breakthrough with your name on it. There's a healing for you with your name on it. Do not feel defeated. That is the main thing the enemy wants you to feel, that this is over. This is it for you. The devil is a liar. Okay. I want to tell that woman that God got a story for you, a life for you. You just have to just surrender him to him. Having a relationship with God is the most important thing. Again, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking like this if it wasn't for him. And knowing that you do not have to stay stuck there. You don't. You just have to surrender that thing. I know it's hard. Trust me, surrendering to God is the best choice you could ever make. Doesn't matter what you did, don't matter your story. God knows, he knows all about you. Okay. You can't pretend that it was this way. He knows all about, and he still chooses. The door's open for you. All you have to do is walk it.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And so, in closing, what's something that we don't know about you? Some hidden talent or something that you like to do behind closed doors? Tell it tell us something about you.
I always imagine myself a singer, and I can't sing,
You
but
can? You
I
can sing?
cannot.
Okay.
But if I love to sing and pretend I'm performing on the stage. That's what I do in my
I love that.
private life. I'm-
Is
that's what I
is
do.
there a song that you like to sing?
R&B. So I like the old, like Brandy's and Monica's and Aaliyah songs. Like, I just pretend I'm performing. Like, I'd be bored. I mean, I'd be like, that's my hitting thing. I wish I was. I wish I was a singer. So, and I pretend that I'm performing. So that's what I do.
I love it. I love it. I can picture you with a pen mic and
Uh-huh. From
singing.
my remote control. But no.
You're welcome to sing on this episode if
Oh
you'd like.
no. I don't want to embarrass myself.
So, Octavia, how can people get access to your workbook? How can they get access to Toxicity to
Yes,
Thrive?
I have my website. Go to toxicity2thriving.com. You can actually purchase there on my website. It is available like on TikTok Shop and Amazon and Barnes and Nobles as well, but I promote it more on my website.
On
So
your website. So
on
it's
my web,
www.toxicitytothriving.com.
it's actually HTTPS with the two dots and a with the under the
The,
colons.
the
The
colons,
colon
yeah.
toxicity2thriving.com.
Okay. And how can people access you on social media?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram name is purpose underscore into underscore action. Purpose into action. That is my Instagram page. If you're on TikTok, my name is Octavia Joy. And those are my I'm on YouTube as well, but I'm really on TikTok, Instagram the most.
Okay. Well, thank you, Octavia, and thank you for sharing all your wisdom today. And your links will be in the show notes. And yeah, thank you for joining me
Thank you
today. This
so
has been
much.
incredible. Thank you for your inspiration.
I appreciate your invite. I really do. Thank you so much.
And this show was brought to you by Project Icon, and the link will be in the show notes. Thanks, Octavia.
Thank you.